My name is Eduardus Halim, and I was born in Indonesia and raised there, and I came here to study music at Juilliard, and I finished with my master and then continued with professional study, where I studied with Sasha Goranitsky's and then with Rudolf Verkuschening. And subsequently, I had the last year of Mr. Horowitz, I studied with him, and I had also been coming to NYU for the past 6 years on courtesy of NYU and courtesy of my dear friend here, Ron. So, and yeah, and been happy ever since here. Yeah. Well, he taught me one of the most important thing I think is how I should practice, how to see things. You know, sometimes we see things, but not quite see actual thing. You know, it's sort of maybe what all of us say. You know, Busoni says, see beyond the music, or Mr. Horowitz would say, you know, behind the notes. I mean, or between the notes, or whatever, under the notes. But the point is, we have to read and what the composer's intention is, and hopefully translate it through it clearly. I think that was one of his, you know, Horowitz was known as a romantic pianist, so-called, you know, the grand romantic pianist tradition that is sort of, you know, I remember Mr. Schomburg used to say, you know, oh, you know, he was the last. And by that, we always implied as if like it was sort of arbitrary, you know, not, but no, I think it's quite to the contrary. I think he read the music as carefully, I must say, maybe as Rudolf Serkin was. And the respect for the score was equally strong, I felt, you know. He was never spur of the moment things, you know, to as if change score and stuff like that. No, but he read it, and then that was I found it very inspiring. And the next things I found it the most, of course, which is the most important. He always felt you should find your own voice, constantly look for it, and by that, you know, I always felt it's a years of experience, not just simply you find your voice somewhere. No, it's something you keep trying, and that is terribly inspiring. And I found also he speaks greatly. I always found, you know, the ingredients in the most important things in music, for instance, in art for that matter, in my opinion, of course, in a lot of artists' opinions too, is that, you know, you have to have a great deal of hearts, and accompanied by expertise, you know, and accompanied by the technique and with the intellect. But I think I came to the realization that it is three of them are important, but I think the heart is even more important. I found, you know, I start discovering more convinced. Yeah, and then Mr. Horowitz was one of the very rare musicians that was able to do that. And speaking of Mr. Horowitz too, I mean, if I speak about Mr. Goranitsky's, you know, he was the same in many ways. You know, he speaks with a great deal of passion, you know, and when he sings, his tone, that tone quality he put on the piano, he taught me over the years, all his students. It's an inspiration, and then to this day I'm still trying to find, you know, it's just getting there, you know, and then I feel more comfortable. But that's the result of singing. That singing comes directly from you know, the guts, you know, and that's not something that music's on the score. Yeah, there's some expression and whatnot, but by them showing to us and the importance of it, I think that is fundamental, you know. And so I felt when I teach my students here, and it's very important, I should be able to send the same message to them, you know. And of course, finding each one of them very different and with different need, but each one of them will find their own voice someday if they're able to do that.